Welcome to the Legend and Legacy exhibition here at the Box. This is an exhibition about the journey that has come to define England's relationship with America. So we've brought together objects from museums, libraries and archives across the UK, the US, the Netherlands, and objects from Native America as well. 400 years ago, the people of the Mayflower were already at sea. 102 people, men, women and children, all packed together in what was a long way from being a passenger ship. It was a cargo ship. So just imagine all of those different age groups together, and they're people of different backgrounds, different birthplaces, and quite possibly different beliefs as well. We felt it was really important to represent each and every one of the 102 passengers on board. The historic record records them in groups, 28 groups. Some of those are families, like the Brewsters. William and Mary are the parents. They travel with 2 sons, Love and Wrestling. Everyone loves their names, but what's intriguing about this family is that Love and Wrestling's siblings are left behind in Leiden. But somebody is also added to this family grouping. His name is Richard Moore. He's one of the 4 Moore children. Their story is a fascinating one because all 4 of them, all aged under 10, travel without either of their parents on board the Mayflower in 1620. We can follow their fate through these lines here, which take us not just across the Atlantic, but into their lives beyond.
In the Legend and Legacy exhibition, we have 4 nations represented: England, the Wampanoag Nation of Native America, the United States, and Leiden. Leiden's a really important part of the story because the separatists who left England fleeing religious persecution actually went to Leiden more than a decade before they decided to travel to North America. So that part of the story we felt was very important to be reflected in this exhibition that tells the full story about that separatist experience. This is a map of Leiden from 1600s, and it gives us an idea of where the separatists were living for that decade while they were in exile from England. And we can see as part of this map the Peterskirke, which is the church that is so central to the religious identity of the separatists when they were staying in Leiden. So Leiden is a city of refugees at this time, and the separatists who have fled England are there as refugees on the whole. And their life there became quite difficult. William Bradford tells us in of Plymouth Plantation the challenges that they faced while they were there. Many of them are working in the textile industry, which is one of the most prominent industries in Leiden at the time, and they do find that work difficult. It's hard labour, and they're struggling. After around a decade of living in Leiden, the challenges are beginning to mount for some of the separatists. And another reason that becomes important to them is about propagating the gospel. So they want to convert Native Americans to Christianity. And there's also the end of the truce with the Spanish. So on the horizon is the potential for war, which, while not first and foremost one of the reasons that they leave, it's certainly on their mind.
We really wanted to think about the experience of the children on board. We don't know exactly what they did, but we thought it would be interesting just to think about what they might have done through these toys. So they're 17th century toys, tops, tip cats and beads. Maybe they would have played with them.
In this case, we have examples of West Country pottery, and it's from the 17th century. So it gives us an idea of the pottery that the passengers would have been familiar with. But maybe more importantly than that is that we know that examples of this kind of pottery has been found in archaeological sites of North America. So where the colonial settlements have been in North America, those English colonial settlements, we find examples of this kind of pottery there too.
As well as the Plymouth and the West Country pottery, we've been working to bring items of Wampanoag significance to England and to Plymouth for the first time. That includes pottery. This is our new commission. It's made by Nossa Pocket, or Ramona Peters. Her piece is the first ever commission from Plymouth to a Wampanoag artist. And we're so pleased and very honoured to have it here, and it will come into the permanent collections of the box. This case represents not quite 12,000 years of Wampanoag society, but about 7,000 or so. So we've got arrowheads here that come from an English collection at Bristol Museums, but we've also got material from Pilgrim Hall Museum, Plymouth, Massachusetts, and we were so pleased to be able to work with the National Museum of the American Indian to bring 3 pieces to England for the first time, and it's really our privilege to be able to display them here in Plymouth. Your journey through the exhibition ends here in the legacy section. So behind me you have contemporary descendants of the people of the Mayflower, the descendants of those passengers. But you also have some famous descendants too, former presidents, film stars, singers, and also the tribal elders of the Wampanoag people today. This proves this story is shared by 4 nations even today.